Ladies and gentlemen, it is Tuesday night. It is time for the baddest Bama related show there is, the Bama Standard. Before we do anything, you know the drill. Let's go ahead and get those likes running up. Let's get in this live chat and get rowdy. We got plenty of reason to tonight. So we got some news that our guest is going to reveal to us momentarily. If you're watching the replay, get in the comment section. Show us some love there. I'm your host, Justin Riley. With me, as always, is a 1999 All-SEC linebacker. And when Ric Flair said, to be the man, woo, you got to beat the man, he is that man, Marvin Constant.
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
And now, just above him is an absolute icon, a living legend. The man who has a Daniel Moore painted just for him. He is a national champion and the Cowboys legend, one of the baddest men to ever strap him up, George Teague.
Yeah, hey, let me do my Marvin Constant impersonation. You ready? Oh, I got some back
the whole time I was about to say, shout out to George. He has a Daniel Moore. It's not an easy accomplishment. I thought I should have had one with my goal line stop, but clearly Daniel Moore didn't think enough of me to paint one. See, I was getting ready to shout you out, and that's how you do me.
What? That's a props to you, man. It ain't nothing bad, man. You know what you do with your health stuff and all that stuff is absolutely amazing. I wish I had the discipline that you do. With that, I actually did some push-ups yesterday. So before we get to this other stuff,
how many push-ups? 2 don't count. If you ain't do but 2, don't tell me.
No.
I think we need to stop the broadcast and get a contest going and see who still got it.
Well, hold on. Let me tell you why I do push-ups on a regular basis, but so I actually got down in front of my wife and said, hey, I need for you to hear this because I got a little bit of crackling. You always talk about that shoulders and all this kind of stuff. So I got some, I can do the push-ups. It doesn't hurt, but it doesn't sound very good. So I do stay with it a little bit, mostly body weight stuff for me right now. Just to try to stay, just in case some young buck want to walk up on me one day, man. I got to be a little, hey, back up, dog. I don't play that.
So you're doing the old Herschel Walker routine. That's kind of keeping you going.
Well, I ain't running no hills. Yeah, I think
no hills.
Part of it, right?
Come on, George. You can't halfway do this now.
You got this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now I gotta say, George, that Marvin Constant impersonation was impeccable. It's missing one thing, just one thing. The shirt you're wearing is too big.
Oh. Okay, next time I come on, I'll make sure I got me a tidy whitey on or whatever.
I have on an entire long sleeve shirt.
First of all, that ain't even long sleeve. It don't even come down to your wrist. What you got on there, man?
It's a crop top, George.
Y'all some haters. I swear, y'all are some haters, man.
But listen,
Kelly says she liked the shirt. God can, God will, and God did. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Listen, trying to be nice to you.
And God did do something. God can and God will shop if you want one, Kelly. Thanks for the shout out.
That's right.
Marvin about to give a testimony. Can I dance with you?
It's been a long week.
Come on.
And it's just Tuesday.
Well, God did do something here during the break between last week and tonight. Matter of fact, he used his messenger, George T, to deliver the news to me. And folks, I know you already are talking about it. We need to hear the details. So we didn't have this scheduled, but hey, why not break some news right now? Mr. Teague, if you would, sir, let the Bama Nation know what's going on.
Yes, man. So if you haven't been on social media or been paying attention to anything, you should know that there's a lot of talk about the left tackle, Kaden Proctor, returning back to Bama. We heard about this a little earlier for some reliable people that we know, and I started a conversation with Mr. Justin Riley to say, hey, man, we're going to have to talk about this. This is before it all kind of really broke and hit, and here it is now. So what we got to think about and what we got to discuss, I think there's a couple things, fellas, because it's exciting, right? It would be a fabulous move for Alabama. There's so many different layers of this, and I don't even know how much time we got and how many days we're going to have to.
Hold on. George, one quick question. You don't have to sit out, even though he just transferred back. He's eligible to play just that fast?
That is correct. According to the sources, he is eligible to play either for us or Alabama. And that's what immediately, like, I was like, hey, man, I don't know what the rules are and how it reads. I don't know the exact script, but I have seen it printed that he would be eligible to play. The only caveat is when we say he's coming back, he cannot come back like tomorrow or, the next day. It would have to be after class is out. So it would be May. He basically would have to miss spring football.
He ain't got to go to class. We can get him a job at Buc-ee's and leave until it's time to start school. If he decides he want to transfer, maybe we should send him to Buc-ee's to work for a few months, teach him a lesson.
Yeah, so there's a lot in this, right? As a player and as this one, what you said, hey, what does these rules look like, and what is this going to mean for legislation on guys hopping off and then hopping back? What does this mean for collectives? And now you're really going to have to sign guys a contract, so they just can't try to use you for a quick 100,000 and then come back if it's legal for someone to say, man, we thought differently. Here's 200. I don't know. I'm just saying.
But you do know there's a deeper issue here, though, that I just thought about.
Yeah.
So if you have a guy like Kadyn who wants to come back, and say you get this domino effect of a lot of other guys that want to come back, there's only 85 scholarships available. Mm-hmm. So how do you bring guys back after you've already filled those spots? And is it fair to the guys that you signed in your class who's probably going to lose a spot to bring back a veteran guy? Because that's the reality of it. You can't just bring a guy back and put him back on scholarship if you're already at 85. That means somebody's getting the axe.
Those are those deeper conversations. I'm saying that this creates a firestorm. I'll use that word instead of what I want to say, because it would be, this changes that dynamic of how you have to look at transfer portal, money, those kind of things. But, for us, we're saying if it worked, if we had a spot, if we didn't necessarily have to cut anybody or release anybody, or if we had a spot and he's back, sorry, Iowa. But I would think that there's going to be a lot of talk about this process, because that's different, man. That's woo.
Because you can't tell me we're not already at 85 scholarships, especially just coming out of that last signing period. You had the early period, plus you had the one that we just went through, a month ago? So you're not going to tell me we're not already at 85. So again, somebody's going to get screwed in this deal. The question is who?
Well, and see, and I'm gonna go into this, and I don't want to pretend like I have any knowledge about this part of what we're saying, but it's based upon what Marvin said. No, we have to think about. Remember, we just said he can't come until May, which is after our spring. If we fans don't think that somebody's not going to leave us after spring football,
right?
You're probably misguided. So there's probably going to be a spot, whether we tell them to break yourself and beat it, or whether or not they just leave on their own because they don't.
But this goes, like you said, it's a deeper conversation. This goes back to the point I made a few weeks back about, these guys and this NIL, and the fact that, people are mad because kids just leave. But the reality is these scholarships are 1 year renewable. So with it being 1 year renewable, everybody's on the chopping block if a coach wants them to be.
That's right. You're absolutely right. So, and I remember, what show was that on? I think I was just watching the show. Actually, when I heard you saying that to your group. So yeah, I don't know, man. But here's the deal, man. He comes back. I think it does a world of good for Bama in a lot of sense, right? You get to go back and do you You get a secure spot on the line that you want to have. Tackle. I think it still continues to establish the dominance that you still want to have up front, at least on the offensive line, and how you're going to protect the quarterback and how you're going to run the football. He could be a very, very big piece to that. This is going to have a domino effect one way or the other with guys coming, or maybe even coming back. Who knows? Because with the way DeBoer is picking off people, meaning signing people, getting people to commit, flipping Auburn guys, doing all this stuff, and then you have someone say, "Man, I'm coming back." That is a statement
That's a huge statement
to the world that Bama's for real. They ain't playing around. Something's going. Whatever you were thinking, if this guy comes back, oh man, that undercurrent will be.
But here's the better question. Did he go to Iowa and realize that Iowa's offense has been terrible forever and that you'll never get the shine you truly deserve at Iowa because you're not protecting a quarterback that's of high value, or you're not protecting a quarterback in an offense that puts up numbers. So now you're going to have to fly under the radar being a tackle at Iowa opposed to a tackle at Alabama.
How could you not know? I agree with you. I bet that did happen. I bet he went in the weight room. He went out to the cornfield and all the other kind of stuff.
Ultimately, that's what it is.
Man, I grew up out here. Is this what I forgot about this, and then start watching tape. Well, I said he didn't even go to practice yet, from what my understanding. He hadn't even practiced with him at all. So he I'll let you get in, Justin. I think that where did they score like 9 points a game?
It was terrible.
Roughly, it was a baseball score each game. Welcome in, Stephen M. Smith. Glad to have you here, sir. Glad to have you back in your washroom so you could be a part of the show, sir.
He needs to turn the light on so I can see him.
He's in hiding. But I think a couple of things here, George and Marvin and Stephen. Ultimately, I think it's a buyer's remorse due to a knee-jerk reaction. A guy left Alabama at an uncertain time. He's an 18-year-old, 19-year-old kid, and all he sees is chaos and panic. Coach Saban's gone. He doesn't know what to do. So what's the obvious thing? If you're a scared kid, you go back home. You get back home, you feel like home's not home anymore, and you start to realize the points that Marvin just made. The ability to elevate and at a place like Alabama and get to the NFL and have that shine that's going to warrant that high draft grade. And you also got to remember too, he's been in constant contact with Tyler Booker this whole time. So you got to be feeling that Tyler Booker and probably Jaden Roberts and some of those other guys are talking to him and counseling him and putting this in his ear that, hey man, you're still welcome back. You're still our brother. Maybe that leaving wasn't the best fit. Come home.
You hit it, bro.
Come home right now. Let's do this thing the right way. And Bama Nation, I think you also need to understand you don't need to fire somebody in the sun because of a mistake. If we didn't need forgiveness, we wouldn't need a savior. So I say give this kid forgiveness. Let him prove that Bama is in that blood of his. Let's see where we can go. We have a need at tackle. Fulfills it. Go ahead, Marvin. I know you're chomping the bit. And Stephen Smith away.
I'm sorry. There ain't no way in hell I'm a starter at the University of Alabama, and I'm gonna leave and drag my ass to Iowa.
It was home. He was a home guy, dude.
I don't care if it's home or not. It's Iowa.
His coach left though, so
give a crap.
Yeah,
you go to Iowa. Have you not watched how inept Iowa's offense has been for the past 20 years?
It's going to be, and again, we don't know. And I agree with you. I wouldn't necessarily. So when my coach left, like I said, when Bill Curry left, and I was at Bama, I wouldn't have transferred to, I don't know who we want to compare them to, Missouri or something like that, right? I would not have done that. But now I'm going to throw back into this money game. If I was out there in our free agent market in our portal and someone said, hey, I got $100,000 for you to come up here, and we're trying to revamp this offense that Marvin just so greatly said it was trash, and we got to have you. And we already got this, which he already had a couple deals. I can't remember what the article said, but they had already lined them up essentially with some sponsorship packages on top of that. I could see my freshman year, I'm going, well, okay, I can go do that. And then you tie in what Justin said, but he's still calling his boys, and they're hanging out and they're doing something. And now they're like, dude, DeBoer got this thing going right. Man, what you thought? I don't want to come back. And you start looking into the rules. And someone told him, if you want to go back, come on back.
You know what I see brewing here? Lawsuits. Because you go take this money.
Tampering.
These people ain't gonna just let you leave without getting their money back, and you not fulfilling that legal contracted obligation that you so willingly left Tuscaloosa to go take. So again, I don't know about this one.
That's why. Come on, Steven. Come on.
So here's the conversation. So Proctor is literally saying, I want to come back to Tuscaloosa because I know Tyler Booker mentioned to me he still talks to Kadyn Proctor. So there's still a conversation there. My whole thing is when Proctor first left, the first place he went to was to an Iowa game, right? And he was speaking to an Iowa reporter, and he told her, even when I was struggling at Alabama, they still called me. They held me down. Yep. They made sure my emotions were in check. They catered to me, even though I was in Tuscaloosa. That was already an issue there. You talking to them even during you being here in Tuscaloosa. Now, me personally, I would like to move forward without what Bama's already got. I would like to move forward with the Miles McVays you already got, the Wilkin Formby's you already got, this transfer from A&M, the Quill Bertrand you already got, Elijah Pritchett's still here. I would like to move forward with the guys you already got. I mean, that's just me. When you leave Alabama, you left for a reason. When you left, you left for a reason. Now, I understand some people say, well, bring him back in, but why would you leave from the jump? Especially when you had all of these people telling you, wait, don't hit the portal, wait. Let's see the coach that we get in here first. Mm-hmm. And Kadyn Proctor didn't even want to wait to see the coach that you bring in here first. Now that you see the coach that you brought in here and you're seeing what he's doing, now you're seeing the mistake. You should have just waited.
You know what? I'm going to go out on
How old is Proctor? How old is Kadyn Proctor?
19.
All right. Then if you gonna tell me when you were 19, Steven and Marvin, that you had it all right and could think about this, it wasn't
hold on.
Come on.
Now, at the ripe age of 20, my coach was fired and my coach was replaced, and we all had the option to leave with no penalty, but we stayed, not knowing who they were going to bring in to replace our coaching staff.
We're a different breed, man.
That's different breed. This is the modern day. I get what you're saying. I do.
I 100% agree with y'all.
Yeah,
well, I can't necessarily say that I agree with Steven to say.
I agree with Steven and Smith for one.
I'm saying I want to roll with who I got in this day and age. You gotta put yourself in the best position that you think you can win games. You just,
Steven, I'm with you.
This is a shock, man. This is a complete shock.
I think we might need a pause and collect ourselves here because this is a rarity.
Marvin rarely ever agrees with me. So
while we collect ourselves, we got a nice little super chat here from Don Parker. Got a shout out Montgomery's own George Teague. We played ball against each other in high school, and we could never beat you guys. Lanier versus D. Great seeing you on the standard. Go Poets.
Man,
man.
I bet the sound of them leather helmets popping sounded real low.
You know what, Don? I appreciate you, and I'm glad that you go ahead and admitted that you couldn't beat us or whatnot. I had some really good games against Lanier. JD now is just so run down. Well, it ain't even called JD anymore. Just like Lanier ain't even standing up anymore. So.
you know, JD was decent. I will say that we beat JD for the 6A state championship in '95. Go Central Tuscaloosa.
Marvin gonna give that Central plug every time.
Got to.
Marvin gonna give that Central plug every time.
Stephen and Marvin, I agree with rolling with what you got. You got to show some loyalty to the guys who didn't jump ship and who are there grinding it out. Absolutely. So this isn't a situation where Kaden just rolls right in, all sins are forgiven, here's your spot back. This truly needs to be a competition to where you earn it back.
And that's what every coach on this staff has been talking about since day one of spring practice. From Kalin DeBoer on down, it's competition all across this room. And even Chris Kapelovich, the new offensive line coach, has been high on it. Like, you got two guys battling for center. When was the last time we had two guys battling it out for center? And they in a toe-to-toe battle with the younger Brockemeyer brother, because the older one transferred, but the younger Brockemeyer brother is going up against Parker Brasseford, the transfer from Washington. So it's a full-on across-the-board competition at every spot.
Real quick, folks, before we move on to the next sentiment, I want to remind everybody that the football season truly never ends when you have your title towel. Go to whitwillsports.com today and enter the promo code STANDARD. Get you a nice little discount courtesy of your favorite show, favorite network here. whitwillsports.com, title towel. Enter that great promo code so you can get arguably one of the best forms of memorabilia when it comes to your football season.
Justin, I gotta ask the legend here. So George, so what's the next spice description flavor that our great JT has come up with? Because he said that a hot is not a flavor. He mentioned some things there. So what's the next flavor or spice that JT is conjuring up now?
Man, JT, though, he doesn't believe that red is a flavor and grape is a flavor, or purple, I mean. So, you know, JT is an encyclopedia of stuff that nobody cares about. You know, I don't know. Sometimes I have to look at him and say, man, did he really? Is this part of my seed here or what? So I don't know, man. He's going to be on tomorrow night, though. We're going to have to listen to him tomorrow on Teague's Take Standard as well. So you guys make sure you come back and talk about that, because he's going to talk about some other spicy stuff. Cover match 3. And I actually want to hear from Marvin Constant at some point to see how linebackers need to play when you're playing, you know, a match man zone. That'll confuse some people, like, what? Match man zone? You know, a zone match principle and what that does to linebackers. It's going to be one of my questions tomorrow. And you got guys running in front of you, and you got to stop the run. It's pretty difficult on a linebacker. So I would love to hear, you know, what that eye candy does to linebackers. You know, Marvin Constant can't even focus on the little camera right in front of him. So, you know, if it start moving, he get.
No, I was reading the comments because I like to stay active with the people in the chat, and I just seen that comment that Justin just put on the screen. So, all right, that's cool. Cool.
Yeah, well, I like what he said. Red Kool-Aid is a flavor. I love it.
It is. Well, speaking of spicing things up there, Stephen, and, you know, shout out to JT who can be here tonight. I think they're spicing up in terms of the bank account belonging to one Kalen DeBoer. The man just got paid $10 million his first year, with a chance to grow that money by year 8. Guys, let's talk about it. How do you feel about this nice payday, this nice contract that our coach has gotten? Hey, his staff got paid pretty nicely as well. And do you think maybe this Kadyn Proctor return may have influenced it just a little bit, because the man's been on fire? So I can see reason to go ahead and jump the gun and write that big fat check out. George, started out, Marvin and Stephen, pick it up.
First of all, the best football jobs in America happen to include Alabama. I'd be interested to see what you guys put as the top 5 football jobs, or maybe top 3 football jobs out there. Bama is one of them. which means you're going to have to pay, right? And he was bold enough to be able to come and follow behind someone who's going to have statues forever, and is going to have a thing bigger than Bear Bryant and any other legendary coach that was out there. So if you're bold enough to step in those shoes, pay the man, especially if you think that it's right. So I think that Greg Byrne, university president, Bell, they had to find a way to get that money and make sure they got the right guy. Plus, you know what it did? It made University of Washington increase their coach's salary by $3 million or so because they weren't paying him enough. So that's Washington's fault, paying the man a little bit of money, and Alabama walks in. I'm out too. I would have been out on the same day too. Yeah, the kids were mad, but that's what we were talking about just a minute ago. But Marvin, as I hand it off to you, if I was making $4.5 million at wherever, and you showed up and said, "Hey man, come on to Alabama. I got about $10 million for you. We're gonna have some extra money on the side for some collectors and for you to get some players. We know this is going to be a hard feat for you. You got all the backing in the world. Nick Saban going to office right down the way from you. He gonna help raise this money. We're gonna give you some, incentives. If you get to the championship, if you just get to it, we're gonna give you $600. You win it, we're gonna give you about $900." Come on, man. I'm out.
Yep. Difference between hamburger and steak, isn't it?
Yes, sir. I'm out.
Well, one of the things when they started this search that they had to consider, do we take a chance on some unproven coach, which we probably could have got away with paying him $5 to $7 million, or do we go out and get someone who's a proven coach who's actually just, lost the national championship game? So if you're coming to me and I just lost the national championship game, am I going to make you pay? Yeah. I got to follow Nick Saban. Am I going to make you pay? Yeah. So everything was stacked in DeBoer's favor for him to get paid. And Alabama knew in order to get the guy that they really wanted, you're going to have to pay him. And you look at what Coach Saban last made, it was around that same mark. So you're not going to tell me I got to come replace this guy and you're going to pay me less than you were paying him. And I just lost the national championship game. So, and again, they were in a bad situation because if you don't get Kalen DeBoer, all your other coaches who probably would have even been considered all read up with their schools because their school's like, oh, hell no, you're not coming to take our guy. So if they didn't pay him, then you're going to have to get a lesser coach with a lesser salary, which means, probably we're going to pay him out so well. So
I just knew the moment Jimmy Sexton walked into that room with that briefcase, I knew something was up then. The moment Jimmy Sexton that Thursday, which was that January 11th, when Jimmy Sexton walked in there, I knew, some money can be flying around. So the contract with DeBoer, of course, he's going to start off with the $10 million this year and increases $250,000 each year into the final year. He gets at $11.75 million. Of course, George mentioned all the incentives. You make it to the SEC championship, here's some more bread. If you win that, here's a little bit more. You make it to the college football playoff, here's a little bit more. You win it, here's a little bit more. So there were incentives in the contract, absolutely, but just the basis of it, he'll increase $50,000 a year from the first year to the last one. Now, my only thing was, of the assistant coaches that were the $1 million assistants, you got Kane Womack, who's a $1 million assistant, 1.5. You've got Freddie Roach, $1 million assistant at $1 million. You had Nick Sheridan, 1.35, Jamarcus Shepard, 1.1. Why was Rob Gillespie just still at 850,000?
That's what I wanted to ask right there. How do you reward the guy who's been here and he's arguably one of the best recruiting coaches out there?
And he got bumped up to assistant head coach. So he's not just running back coach. He got bumped up to assistant head coach. He is one of the best recruiters, if not the best recruiter on that staff across the board. Why was he not at that $1 million? That was my only gripe. Was Rob Gillespie still under that $1 million?
Who's his agent?
That'll be the question.
Who's the agent?
Well, obviously not the same guy as Freddie Rose, because Freddie Rose got that nice little mill, bump up, which deservedly so.
Bro, have you seen how big Freddie Roach is? You seen him in person?
Well,
yeah, Freddie a huge dude now. Freddie a huge dude now.
Yeah,
Freddie a huge dude.
Freddie didn't gain weight.
Yeah.
Now, Freddie large in charge. I saw him at Bomb Howard Wings, and I had to
He wasn't sitting in there with a 50-piece, was he?
Mm.
Freddie, call me.
Well, with that contract, he can afford a 50-piece, maybe even a 70-piece. Hey, James Page, Marvin, real ck, wants to know where he can get that shirt you have.
Oh man, this shirt, I'm gonna tell you right now. You can find it at godcangodwill.shop. Yep, godcangodwill.shop. Boom. I love it.
And there's an NIL deal for Marvin.
I don't need an NIL. I just like the shirt. You know what I'm saying? Rock it. Represent it, boy. God can, God will, God did.
All right, man. This phone's still going. This shit ain't about to end. Steven Smith, you better keep your ear to the ground, man. It sounds like
it ain't over. It's so funny.
He can't put his ear to the ground. He can't see, man.
Look, man. Look, my eyes are seeing this in 4D. 4D right now.
That would be facts, but you know what? You was talking about incentives. A couple years ago when I met you, I don't remember seeing that much forehead. It looked like your forehead keeps growing. Maybe you got some incentive to just get a little more, get a little more, get a little more, get a little more.
No, man. No, man. The incentives come from JT feeding me all this information about what's spice and what's not. That's where the incentives coming from.
Crazy.
And this is a wonderful segment that y'all are enjoying right here, brought to you by Just for Men. George, you want to talk about your product?
You know what?
More like Touch of Gray. That's JT's new flavor, his new spice. Touch of Gray, 3 parts salt, 1 part black pepper.
You know what? I've been waiting to say this because I've been waiting to fill in that gap in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? We need a dentist. We need a dentist as a sponsor on here. If you got someone that got some braces, hey, let me do a read. I want to be the one who do the read, Justin.
See, you took a shot at me in the beginning. See, you started it.
No, I did, man. I just did one of these. I said, hey, man, I want to be
shot
like
at me in the beginning.
Hey, man, I keep one in the back pocket now. Come on, man. I told y'all, don't try me like that, man. I told you I just did push-ups yesterday, man. I'm feeling good.
I'm done. I'm done.
To kind of digress, we got a couple of good questions here from the audience. First one is going to come from Salit J. Question for the panel: if Proctor returns, how would you feel as a player in the locker room? The teammate quit, left you when times were bad. George and Marvin, let's let you take the baton here because you're in that locker room, and I know how things were back in the day. If that would have happened, you probably wouldn't have tolerated it all that much. Marvin, start us out, then let's bump it up to George.
I don't see how that can go well in the locker room, considering the fact that I know those guys were talking to him about not leaving before he left. You jumped the gun before you even knew who the next coach would be. Now the fact that when you return, there's a potential that one of their brothers who they may have bonded with is going to be out. So that's who I feel bad for. I feel bad for whoever that number is that has to leave now so that he can get his scholarship back. Because I guarantee you, we're already at 85. So it's not like, he's just we're at 80. He's just going to be a spot and we got 4 left. So I feel bad. So in terms of that, I can see it being problematic if the wrong person is let go to bring him back in. Because that's what a lot of coaches have been talking about. A lot of these kids coming out of high school, the portal is killing recruiting for them. This is just another example of it.
George.
Yeah, I think locker room is really important, and moves like this actually hurts in a big way. It's the unsaid things that happen. There's going to be some disgruntled somebody that's just going to want to get at him, going to try to hit him a little extra harder on the blitz, in practice or something. Because but so it's going to be really up to the coaching staff to try to handle this stuff. Because once you get into this business, the coaching staff really has to be above and beyond to make sure you don't lose a team because of a move like this. And it could, I'm not going to say the whole team would, but it can create waves in your locker room, in the weight room, in the stuff. Because especially when you're younger like this. Guys don't know how to comprehend that stuff. Yeah, he took my spot. He shouldn't have left in the first place. It's the side conversations that are happening down at the wing shop or wherever that could be detrimental.
And I do agree with Marvin on that, because of the fact that when you look at it, the locker room is sacred. That's a sacred environment, and when you leave that, and now you want to come back to that, it's like Marvin mentioned, it's addition by subtraction. So if you're bringing somebody in, somebody's got to go, and if that somebody goes is somebody that you bond with. But let's say this person has a huge spring practice. Let's say that person has a huge spring practice. They become a potential starter, or if not, they become potential. You first off the bench, and now you out because Proctor's come back in.
Okay,
and that guy has also actually invented chemistry in the room too.
Guys, I'm sorry to interrupt with this, but it looks like we got to go to Kaden Proctor's IG. What is his handle? Kaden.
Oh, wow.
I want to come back.
Kaden_Proctor. I know you guys are. Let's see if this is. You never know what's true or what isn't. So.
Okay, a little bit of mystery, a little bit of little step back just a little bit before everybody starts getting in the uproar. Kind of make
it. Which one?
Well, while we're waiting on George, here's the thing. Here's the reality. Are you going to if he comes back, are you going to let a defensive lineman go? Are you going to let a linebacker go? Are you going to let a quarterback go? No, you're probably going to let another offensive lineman go to replace him. Because again, you want so many numbers at each position so that you can not only practice, but for depth. So somebody in that room is probably going to leave.
We got a follow-up question. I want y'all to address this too. We're just thinking out loud here. This could be a domino effect. Not saying this could happen.
Okay, so I'm just saying that if you go to Kaden Proctor's Instagram, on his story, he just posted a picture of Michael Jordan, but it says, "I'm back." Michael Jordan announcing his return to the NBA. So this is pretty good marketing play right there.
Yeah, I got a little mind games and the marketing there. These kids are learning real quickly. But this along the same lines, Cinco de God. Hey, if y'all need a killer graphic made, this is a man to reach out to. He's on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it right now. Ooh. Check this guy out. He is doing some great things visually. So yeah. But he says if Downs wanted to come back, would he be accepted? This is another situation. I know a lot of Bama fans were salty about it, rightfully so. Another guy that jumped ship in one of the worst possible moments when he could have been there for his team. From what I understand, that he had some of his brothers there. They were upset and said, you know what, there's the door. If you got any kind of doubt, we don't need you. Bye. If he comes back, is he welcome into the flock again? Stephen, lead it off, and George and Marvin, and then we'll go on to our next topic.
This one, because I remember when Travaris Robinson went to Georgia, and everyone's thinking he's going to go to Georgia following T-Rob because Caleb felt like all of my connections are gone, which Freddie Roach is still here. That was a big connection for him. Robert Gillespie is still here. That was a big connection for him. Of course, David Ballou is still here as well. So for him to have gone to Ohio State, I never understood that move. That came. Now I get it. Folks will say, "Well, Ohio State built up their collective. It was probably due to y'all haven't beat Michigan in 3 years. How much money we got to pay to get y'all to beat Michigan?" So that probably played a role in that, or it definitely played a role in that. This was tough for me. I like Downs. I really, but this was tough for me.
Man, you double standard here, man. You can't say roll with who we got and then say
this was tough, but I'll still into it. Roll with who we got. It's tough, but still roll with who we got.
Okay. But here's the reality: if you're going to welcome Proctor back, then you have to have the same policy. But I'm gonna go with you on one thing, though, Stephen. Anybody but Seth McLaughlin can come back. He got to stay where he at. He can't come back.
Boom, there it is.
Okay. And Marvin, I'm happy you said that because I was just going to get to that point.
No, he got to stay. No.
I was just about to get to that point. Now, me personally, if you left Bama, there's a reason you left Bama. When you leave Bama, we ain't trying to have you back in here. Now, if there was a situation where of anybody that you don't want to have it back here, at the very least, let's not have Seth McLaughlin back in here.
Steven, I'd rather have a three-legged dog snapping the ball. At least he gonna be cute. Listen, man, he need to stay where he at. Okay.
What 3 legs you gotta have though? What 3 legs you gotta have? Because he already missed one of the 4 legs.
Look, the fact that Marvin missing a 3-leg. The fact that Marvin said
Speaking of that offensive line, before we hear from George, we all know Jaden Roberts is known as the Bama Hulk. Well, he's trying to get his T-shirts out, but he can't use the name Bama Hulk due to copyright. So he has asked me to come to you, the Bama audience, to choose a new nickname for him. So if you would, throw some nicknames out there, and the winner might get a nice little reward if you come out with the right one. Jaden's going to select it, and he'll come on here to announce what he has chosen as his next big nickname, and you'll get a nice little T-shirt. George, how do you feel about Kadyn? Do we grant him grace? Do we embody what Marvin's shirt's saying, unless it's Seth McLaughlin?
He can't come back.
I'm going to be – so I'm in my feels a little bit about this. I personally don't like any of this, the structure. I don't like that you can leave and come back a few months later. I don't like that. This irritates me with NCAA, whoever making these doggone rules up or don't have no rules in place. This bothers me about football, and where we're at today, because this type of stuff was really going to ruin fan bases and teams, like we're talking about. Now guys are leaving, coming back. They're not thinking this through. Someone's in their ear. I don't like this.
This is what Saban talked about on Capitol Hill.
That's right. So I don't like this. And the government, Capitol Hill, they didn't help any whatsoever. So now it's even worse, right? Even from our side, that we, as Bama, what you're just saying, even have the interest to say, hey, man, come on back. As a coach, if I'm the coach, and I've had this as a high school coach, guys were transferred out and people were saying, hey, man, do we want to try to keep him? Can you try to sway him? No, he wants to go. He don't want to be here, so beat it. So if you are gone, to me, I'm going, you're gone. There's another left tackle. There's another safety. Mm-hmm. There's somebody that I just got to be able to go get and replace, and I need to show them why they should have stayed at Bama. So, honestly, yes, I'm excited if they come back and maybe we can win some games. But internally, I'm going, man, I don't want this. I don't even think it's right that we should have been. Even if the players came back in and said, Coach, man, I think we can get Proctor in or whatnot, I'm going to be like, dude, he dipped. He didn't even give me the opportunity to sell him my dream or my story or how I was going to use him. He went on and bailed, like fast. So, no. I guess what I'm saying is no, I'm not accepting them.
Here's the reality. They have turned college football into dating a toxic woman. Listen, man.
I was about to say that.
On you, ma'am. Listen, we can't keep doing all this back and forth. One day you in, one day you out. Listen, man. Either you're going to do it or you're not. And if you're not,
man, you about to make me say something. You about to make me say the power of the P. The power of the P, baby. It brings you back. So I don't know what you talking about. P stands for payday. All right. P stands for payday right here.
Wait, is that the same P? Is that the same P that Prince was talking about? Control? P control?
This segment is brought to you by TMZ.
This segment brought to you by Blue Chew. All right.
It will bring you back. Okay, what y'all talking about? I get you, but man.
Where else can you get this kind of content, folks? Hey, Amber Nicole agrees. Seth McLaughlin and Isaiah Bond can go ahead and be a part of an average program. Hey, I'm for that. She's cute. Anyway, so let's talk about Pro Day, guys. I know a lot of what we were talking about kind of pushed us back a little bit. Pro Day's tomorrow. We kind of got lost in all this, understandably so. We asked some guys who have an opportunity to showcase themselves. Jase McClellan will get an opportunity to showcase himself. He didn't really do much at the combine except for bench press, put up some nice numbers. I believe it was 20, 21 reps. Good deal for a running back. But, guys, real quick, who do you feel like has the most to gain tomorrow as far as the Pro Day goes? We'll start with Marvin. Let's move up to George and then Steven.
Honestly, man, I think they all stand to gain. You know, when you look at it as a whole, everyone is in control of their own destiny. And like I said earlier, after the combine, Dallas Turner, I think he still has the best opportunity to make the most impact on his career, because the difference between pick 5 to 10 versus 1 through 5, you're talking millions of dollars. I think if Dallas goes out here and he runs a 40, if Dallas runs a low 4.1, 4.4, 4.3, 40, I think you're going to see Dallas put himself in the top 3 to 4 picks, and he's pretty much going to double what he would probably make if he were 8, 9, 10 pick. I think Dallas has the most to gain here.
Okay. Is it my turn? Who'd you say was next?
Who is most fired up about this? Is it Steven? His glasses aren't quite fogged up, so that means he's not ready yet. George, go ahead.
Yeah. You know, the pro days mean a whole lot to people, because particularly if you're not one of the top dudes already, the amount of money you can make from a pro day, I'm just saying, going from a 6th round to maybe a 4th round, you know, and not necessarily from a top 10 or a top 5 or something, could be impactful for to you. But thinking about this though, I'm going to go with Jermaine Burton. I think that he is the way that he's kind of projected and where it is, he needs to show how fluid that he really is as a wide receiver. You know, can he really be, you know, it's going to be so much spotlight. We know he can run 4.4 or whatever it is. And he, you know, but there's so many of the other intangibles that those scouts want to see. How does he tap his feet? Does he have the body control? You know, when he's catching the ball, what kind of shape is he really in? What does his body really look like? That kind of stuff. And I think that he could elevate himself some. So personally, and what I'll say to you guys, right? But so before the draft, when I was in, I was projected as a 6th round pick. After the bowl game, I went up to a 3rd or 4th round pick by the end of the season. After my pro day, because I did not run at the combine, well, I think that will tell you on what you have to gain. I went from a 3rd or 4th round pick to a 1st round pick. And I think that was all because of how I did what I needed to do at the combine, because there's all those questions, you know. Let me see them. Why they really run my drills, you know, do this. And I think that day was integral to me as a late round pick, because I had guys in front of me that I already knew they were looking at. John Copeland, Eric Curry. So all I needed to do was just knock a few home runs. And so when I look at someone like this, I don't know what he's projected to be at. I know it's not 1st round, or probably not even 2nd round, probably not even 3rd round. But if he does something, he can elevate himself up a little bit.
And I just want to clarify one thing. I see a lot of people in the comments saying Dallas is already a 7 to 10. He's already fresh. That's not the point I'm trying to make here. Yeah. If you look back, what was it, 3-4 years ago, the kid who came out of Georgia, I can't remember his name, the one who went to Jacksonville, when he put on that hell of performance and ended up being the overall number 1 pick, that amount of money between being pick 1 and pick 8, 9, and 10 is so significant.
It is.
Like, it is huge.
It is. That's for sure. So, and I think so there's a couple different ways. So the way Justin answered or asked us a question, it leads to stuff like this, man. Make your question specific, sir, right? Because it's the amount of stuff that you can make up, right? Part of it is dollars and cents, like he's saying. It doesn't have to be that, So what he's saying and mine is there's dollars and cents to it, but what do you have most to gain? Well, there's still a big difference between. It's not the same dollar value, right? But I think Marvin and I are basically saying the same kind of stuff in a different kind of way, right? Does that make sense?
It does. And, I wanted to bring in one more expert to add into that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back in LaRon McClain, a man who knows about the pro day and about improving draft stock and showing out. He also knows a little bit about running through the Cowboys defense. If you want to lead off on that, go ahead, sir.
Really? That's what we're gonna do?
Man, what's going on tonight? Can y'all hear me good?
Yes, sir.
We hear you.
Yes, how y'all doing tonight, man? How y'all doing tonight?
Great day.
Man, we good, brother. Always great to have you on. George,
yes, look, I was about to just get on the YouTube live and just comment through the comment section and be like, man, I cannot get in. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. My mic over here, man. Like, it's crazy, but
offensive players, man. Offensive players always struggle. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, go ahead.
I know one place I didn't struggle at. See,
where was that?
What you saying, Ron?
That had to be. I don't think the stadium. Yeah, I don't think it's up no more. I think they tore it down. They got something new. They got something new.
It wasn't against me. I would have put the shoulder on you, dog. I would put the shoulder on you.
Yes, sir. That was Hamlin was a safety. He tried to put the shoulder on me too.
Yeah.
You saw what I did. You saw what I did to him.
He went to Arkansas though. He wasn't built by Bama. I'll let you.
Yes, sir. You was a bad man. I wasn't gonna run up on you. I see Teague coming in that box. I might try to cut you, boss man.
Oh, man, we glad you're here, man. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But yeah, jump in the conversation, LaRon. We're talking about the pro day, how much dollars and cents these guys are talking about can add to the value of your draft stock. Is it a better situation than, say, the combine? Who can really add value in terms of tomorrow? We got some guys that weren't really seeing this in the NFL combine. I believe Kool-Aid's going to run tomorrow. Jase is going to run tomorrow. What are your thoughts, man? What jumps off the page to you?
I think me personally, just going through the experience, I went to the combine and did a great job. But knowing that you have that pro day in your back pocket with all the coaches coming, you really want to go and show out there. And so, like, really, I'm glad that I left where I was training at and came back down to Tuscaloosa and got back with my strength coach TJ, who was my strength coach. Got back with him the last 3 weeks before the pro day, and like I had the best pro day ever. So I think it's like real crucial just for the guys that, especially like Kool-Aid, who didn't, pretty much do anything. This is his showcase, where you get to put on. So I just think you got to come in prepared, ready to go. Some guys run at the combine, get it over with. They just want to see you at your pro day. So everybody's situation is different. I just think, man, you just got to be available and for the opportunity, man. And I know me personally, I had a better experience back down there of 3 weeks with my strength coach. I think he just knew exactly what I needed, to just get over that hump playing fullback. He knew exactly what I needed. So I went in with flying colors and had a great pro day. So hopefully tomorrow I'm going to be out there tomorrow for the pro day as well, going to check the guys out. So hopefully everybody run good and, make that money. The faster, the more money.
Don't go out there be running on the sideline, pulling no hamstring and nothing like that.
Yeah, I'm telling you for sure.
Before I let Stephen N. Smith get the mic, George has to jump off. We want to thank you, sir, for being on with us. It's always a joy. Before you jump, tell the folks what you got going on. Like you mentioned before, Teague takes a part of this network. You also got your channel. Tell folks how they can find you and be a part of what you got.
Yeah, man. Hey, but first I just want to say thank you guys for having me on today. I'm glad it all worked out and I could be here. This is totally awesome. I got to be able to come on here and flex and get my best Marvin. Wait, which way he do it? I don't know. Does he have his hands open? What do he do? I got to pay attention next time. I can't do the part with his mouth, though. I can't do the part with the mouth. But anyway, I love the channel. I love everything about it, man. I love being here. Thank you guys for the opportunities that you always give us and Teague's take to be on here and be a part of your family. Tomorrow night we're going to be on. You can find us here on the Bama Standard Channel, 8:15 p.m. Central Time, 9:15. And you guys wouldn't know this guy. Steven might know it just because, but Maurice Shug Belser, he was an offensive lineman with me in the 1992 team. Y'all want to get some jokes? You need to have that guy on the show. Okay, y'all need to get Maurice on because you talking about being country and not getting rid. I talked to him the other day and he's talking about, man, I'm going out here to get my chickens and and he still coach high school football out there, right? But he plucking chickens with his hand. He wearing overalls to practice and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? But anyway, he's going to come on and we're going to be talking some defense. Match 3, right? I'm going to have to get with Marvin and get some of his take on that. Ryan Fowler's going to be on the show tomorrow night too, as well, to come in and talk about this. We need to talk about Pro Day since it's going to happen tomorrow, and really see what happens there. But, get some more scoop on what's really happening. And who knows, maybe Caleb Downs will be signed by tomorrow. With all this stuff. Who knows? Huh?
Hey, George, you can go ahead and tell John Coffey we want him on. We'll let her talk to him. So
yeah, that's exactly what you got. I'm gonna send y'all a picture too. I'm gonna send it to Justin. You better put it on the show. I'm gonna send it tomorrow.
All right, you got it.
Y'all think I'm playing? He got his wife in his left arm and he got a chicken in the right arm. I'm telling you, he sent it to me. I'm telling you. So, and he sound like, what's that little city y'all from? But anyway. So I do appreciate it though, but I gotta get back to work. I'm an athletic director, so I gotta go supervise a baseball game.
All right.
As well. So thank y'all for everything.
Yes, sir. We appreciate you.
You be safe, brother. It was a pleasure. Good seeing you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Peace.
Stephen S. Smith, the build-up's been there. We haven't heard your take on it, and this is honestly what the audience was waiting for the entire time, right? I want you to get wild. I want you to do what you do when you've been on CC's show. I want you to just let loose. Tomorrow, what do we need to see? Who do we need to be aware of?
Well, I'll be out there. So I will be out there tomorrow, bright and shining out there with the run. So we'll run. I'll be out there tomorrow for the Alabama Pro Day. The one guy I need to see, I got to see Kool-Aid.
See him all.
Of course I'm going to see him all. But the one guy I need to see definitely is Kool-Aid. He didn't run at the combine. He didn't run, had the Jones fracture in his foot, so he didn't run. He's healed up now. I want to see, can he move? Can he plant? Can he turn? How quick can he go on the 40? How agile can he be? As far as the on-field drills, what does he look like? Does he have the explosiveness and that broad jump and that vertical? Kind of want to see that there a bit from Kool-Aid. Now, of course, when you watch the tape, you see the ball skills there, obviously. You see his ability to cover there. But just the pro day itself, because he did not take part in the combine, I want to watch his pro day because you've got these people like Mel Kiper talking Kool-Aid down out of the first round. You got Todd McShay starting to talk Kool-Aid down out of the first round. You got guys like Daniel Jeremiah starting to talk Kool-Aid down some. So I want to see Kool-Aid go out there and show people I'm a first rounder. I'm the real deal. That's what I want to see here at this pro day. Now, Terrion Arnold, I just want to see him improve his 40. Because he did enough at the combine to have everybody sold on him. I want to see Terrion improve that 40, get into the low 4.4s there. But full on, I want to see Kool-Aid dominate the pro day.
Okay. Do those glasses have a buffer?
No, they do not. Full go.
Spin, you can't see them. Okay.
They full go. They full go, man. They full go.
I'm excited, honestly, to see Jase McClellan go. This is a guy who has been an absolute warrior and has fought through injury the entire season. Bama fans didn't know he played majority of the year with a broken foot and still was able to show out. So we didn't really see just how fast this guy is. I want to see a healthy Jase McClellan in Pro Day tomorrow, able to showcase his talents. I feel like he's going to be elevated the most out of anybody. I like what we're going to see from him. I'm expecting big things. I'm thinking maybe day 2, elevate to day 2, maybe jumping in the first round. We don't know, but that's a guy I'm excited about. LaRon, tell us what you feel about Jase. You've been close to the action. I know you like he's a tough physical runner, a younger version of you, right? How do you feel like he can improve his stock tomorrow?
Man, run it. Just go out there and run that 40 for real. But I think the reaction time with the running back drills, I think that's going to be great. As you've seen, not to talk about, Michigan like that, but that running back at the combine, that guy looks, he was so like quick and explosive, like through the drills and everything. So I know Jase, had a great game, in that playoff game, to be some big to go into that pro day tomorrow. Run good, run well, catch the ball out the backfield because, they want to use the all-purpose back. So you're just not a first and second down back, showing that you could be a Gibbs, like Gibbs was an all-down back, do everything they could do. So I just think I think sky's the limit for any running back that really pretty much goes from Alabama to their league, because they already fit the standard playing in the SEC, getting banged around.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I know we're coming up on the end of the show, but guys, we got a big event this weekend, the first scrimmage of the spring. This is a big deal. This is what we've been waiting on. This is live ball. This is more than just going through drills. This is more than just kind of, just going through the music session that Stephen and Smith was talking about last week. This is hat on a hat, game situation. We'll be expecting this week. Let's get the Tide fans in the chat ready for it. We're beginning to implement the playbook. We're going to see who can pick it up the quickest. What are we looking forward to the most? And do you have anybody that you're looking at right now? Start out Marvin, Stephen, and then LaRon will pick it up.
I ain't looking at nobody. Listen, I just want to watch it after it's all said and done. I got no expectations. I told y'all in the beginning, man. New coach, new scheme. Got to learn it. I've been through it before. So if you put expectations on this, you're just setting yourself up for disappointment because at the end of the day, it's still Alabama football. There's still a standard. So, again, I just want to see how it goes because I don't want to have expectations and feel disappointed.
Okay. Stephen, you'll be there right in the middle of it.
I have my eyes on two things. Number one, how quickly Jalen Milroe processes this offense with Kalen DeBoer and Nick Sheridan. That's number one. He processes this stuff fast. He the guy. Like that's number one thing. Number two, Marvin's favorite position, that defense. How does this defense look in that 4-2-5 swarm? How does it look? How are guys attacking the ball? Are they getting through all the terminology? Are they getting to the quarterback? Does it look like an aggressive group? That's what I want to see. Does it look like a group that when they touch that field, something about to happen? Something big is about to happen. So my eyes are going to be on Jalen Milroe from a processing standpoint, where this offense is concerned. And number two, this defense in this 4-2-5 under Kane Womack, how will this look for real?
Okay, I like that. LaRon, what you got, brother? You've been through it, man. You did some things in spring. You laid some hats on a hat.
Oh yeah. The thing, I no lie. The thing that I'm very, interested in seeing is really just how everything is different. How is everything under, our new coach? How's the atmosphere? How's practice? How this scrimmage is going to go? So we pretty much knew how scrimmage is going to go, with Saban. I want to know how he runs his practices, how he does everything, because everything is different now. I know everybody was saying, like, it's tough practices under Saban and everything, but like you said, Stephen was out there, they playing music, looked like everybody was loose, having fun and everything. So I'm really just excited about seeing just the change, seeing what's different, seeing new guys from, different schools, on Alabama now, new transfers and seeing a new quarterback. I know we've seen Jalen, but seeing Austin Mack, seeing what he could do, the other guys, seeing that new center that we have, seeing how he move around. They're saying the dude's small, but he was the top center in the nation, so he got to be tough. So I'm just looking forward, just seeing the changes and seeing everybody, going out there flying around. Like Steven said, seeing that defense at 4-2-5, seeing the new secondary, seeing who we're going to have out there. It's exciting for me, just like the new era, like it was, when Shula got going and, when Saban came in, everybody was interested seeing, how that spring was, that first spring when Saban was there.
Yeah, no doubt.
That first spring with Saban being there was massive. If I had to put one more thing on what I'm looking forward to seeing is does Bama have that kickoff returner, punt returner? My eyes will be on that too, because it's been a long time. It's been a minute since we had that kickoff.
That Christian Jones.
That Christian Jones,
yeah.
that Javier Arenas, Christian Jones, Tyron
Marquise
Proctor,
Mays.
Mays.
Give my guy Waddle his credit.
Also, I'm getting to Waddle too. Waddle also.
Shout out to Freddie Millins. Freddie
Millins, Jamison Williams. Guys that when they touched the ball, you knew they going to the house. Like we haven't seen that in a minute. So who's the guy that when their hands touch that ball on that kickoff return or on that punt return, they are dangerous? Cyrus Jones did it well in 2015. You got to go back to Eddie Jackson. was really good at it. So who is that next guy that when they touch that ball, they out of here? It may be Marvin Constant. Who knows?
Not with these knees.
One more year left. LeRon's got another year left, right? Y'all have that COVID year.
This bad knee. I know I can't do nothing. I can barely walk and chew gum right now.
I hear you, brother. For me, and I'll keep it real quick, I'm looking at the wide receivers. A lot is being said about this group. Of course, Kendrick Law is getting his props, and several other names are being thrown into the bucket. Kobe Prince, absolutely. Ryan Williams has been on the minds of everybody, being compared to David Deuce Palmer. But I think that we're forgetting about a couple of guys that we need to pay real close attention to. So I'm excited to say who's really going to emerge. And I think that a guy that maybe people forgot about is Jalen Hale. He reminds me of DJ Hall, and he has that kind of ability. So let's not forget about that name. I'm ready to see how he's going to elevate in this offense. He certainly has the offensive minds to get him to that point. So that's a name to watch out for. But, well, folks, we have come to the end of the show. But before we do all that, remind everybody, April 12th, the Bryant Museum, 6 p.m. Central. The Bama Standard is going to be live broadcasting for a day. Our guy LeRon's going to be there. We're going to have some special guests. We're going to be doing it big. Let's pack the house out. In 2 weeks, we're going to announce one of our biggest guests that'll be a part of it. So you want to be a part of there. Miss Olivia from the Bryant Museum will be on here to tell us who that is. But anyway, let's go around the room. Let's talk about what we got. Let's promote what we got. Marvin Constant, as always, is going to start us out. They'll move down to Steven, and then LeRon will talk about what he's got, and we'll send this off the right way.
All right, yeah, you can find me on Instagram, Constant45. You can find me on Twitter, Constant451. Again, there's a direct link on both of my social media pages to purchase my book. That's $15. Whoever's been 3 different workout programs. Each one is 6 weeks, one for beginners, one for intermediate, one for people who've been doing it for a while. So, if you ever got any questions, feel free to hit me up. I'm always available for questions.
Yes, sir. Steven.
Well, we got pro day tomorrow, so I'll be out there. I'll be out there getting the guys pro day 40 times, vertical, broad jump, all that good stuff right there. Nick Saban will not be out there, apparently, but I'll be out there. Of course, get a chance to talk to some players after the pro day ends. Looking forward to time and some of the guys, how they perform. All 32 teams are out there, so I'll look at all the folks out there. Bill Belichick will not be out there for the first time in a long time. So that'll be different, not seeing Belichick out there. But also, you got In My Own Words tomorrow. That's going to be fun there with yours truly talking Bama. And then at the end of the day, you got media viewing for spring practice returns Thursday. So Thursday, you got media viewing, spring practice. Going to be fun to get back out there with Coach DeBoer, this team, and see of these guys being back out there again, running around on this field, getting set for A-Day.
I'm sorry, Steven. I just had a visual. When you say you're going to be at that time in 40, I can see you out there now. Did he start yet? He's passing the finish line.
I will have you know, Marvin, I'll have 2 phones out there timing.
Man,
he's gonna be out there with a do-rag, about 10 armbands,
and some binoculars. He's gonna be down there. Who's that?
Was that Jermaine Burton? I'm done. Is that Jermaine Burton or Flojo?
Time.
Oh, God.
That's all you're gonna hit them on. Time. Man, you can follow me on all Instagram. On Instagram, man, LeRon_McClain33. On Facebook, man, LeRon McClain. My fan page on my regular page. Man, just enjoying right now. We're going through spring workouts right now at Central High School. Getting ready for our spring. We got a big spring game coming up May 17th versus Woodlawn in Birmingham, Alabama at 7 p.m. So looking forward for that for the spring. You know what I'm saying? Building a great program over in Tuscaloosa, man, trying to get this thing back rolling over here. So I enjoying that. Going to be at Pro Day, you know what I'm saying, tomorrow and practice Thursday. So I'm going to be with Steven a little bit this week, man, you know. Hope I get a pass with Steven.
Hey,
Real shoulders with Mr. Smith, man. Give me a little inside stuff. You know, he got the inside, man. My man be all like inside the building and everything.
Keep it straight. Keep him straight down now.
Well, keep who straight, Marvin? I know what I be doing in
there. You over there doing the two-step and had a bottle of Hennessy with you last week. Don't even lie.
Justin.
He was shooting dice by the lineman.
Justin, I told you that in confidence, man. I told you
know what numbers you were hitting? My God.
7 and 11, baby, all day. 7 and 11, picking up that peso all day.
Nowhere else, folks, can you get this kind of content. I want to remind everybody we're not done here tonight at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. The Final Whistle, hosted by Matt Cadell, Chris James, Dan James, Lucian, Daniel Petty, and High Hayes will be going live. You want to check out what they got. And as George Teague said, tomorrow night, 8:15 p.m. Central, 9:15 p.m. Eastern, Teague's Take. But just before that, we got Cici Payne at 6 p.m. Central with the Crimson Dynasty. We've got a lot of great content coming your way this offseason, folks. Stay tuned. LaRon, thanks for jumping on. Glad that technology finally works in your favor, brother. Come on back again. We
appreciate you, baby. Appreciate you.
Love having you part of the family. But anyway, that's going to do it for all of us here tonight for the Bama Standard. Roll Tide, everybody.
Roll Tide.